For a long time, Rachael Ray felt less like a celebrity and more like someone who lived in America's kitchen. She wasn't polished in the traditional TV sense. She didn't talk down to viewers, didn't use fancy culinary language, and didn't pretend food had to be intimidating. She showed up smiling, talking fast, tossing ingredients into a pan, and telling people that cooking could be joyful, messy, and human. When 30-minute meals first aired, it wasn't just a show, it was a lifestyle shift. Rachael Ray became the symbol of a new era where everyday people could feel confident in the kitchen, even on the busiest days. What made Rachael special wasn't just her recipes, it was her energy. She laughed at her own mistakes, invented phrases like EVOO, and treated food like something meant to be shared, not judged. Viewers trusted her. They felt like she was cooking with them, not for them. And very quickly, that connection turned her into one of the most powerful figures in daytime television. Cookbooks flew off shelves. Magazine covers followed. Her brand expanded into cookware, pet food, talk shows, and endorsements that reached far beyond the kitchen. By the mid-2000s, Rachael Ray wasn't just successful, she was everywhere. You couldn't walk into a bookstore, turn on daytime TV, or browse a home goods aisle without seeing her smiling face. She represented warmth, comfort, and approachability at a time when celebrity chefs were often intimidating or elitist. Rachael felt real, she felt safe, and America embraced her like family. But fame has a quiet cost, especially when it's built on being endlessly cheerful. Behind the scenes, Rachael Ray was working at a pace few people could sustain. Multiple shows, constant travel, endless appearances. The pressure to stay upbeat, relatable, and energetic never stopped. Daytime television demands consistency, and Rachael became a machine of productivity, smiling through exhaustion, pushing through stress, and rarely slowing down. While audiences saw joy and ease, the reality was a woman carrying the weight of an entire brand on her shoulders. Over time, cracks began to appear, subtle at first. Fans noticed she looked tired, her voice sounded strained. The spark that once felt effortless sometimes seemed forced. Then came the public scrutiny. Online comments started to shift. Where people once praised her warmth, they began criticizing her appearance, her weight, her aging, and even her voice. The internet, always hungry, turned curiosity into judgment. And Rachael Ray felt it. In interviews, she would later admit that the constant criticism hurt deeply, not just because it was cruel, but because it stripped away her humanity. People forgot she was a real person, someone aging naturally, dealing with stress, loss, and the quiet struggles that come with long-term fame. The same audience that once adored her began asking uncomfortable questions. What happened to Rachael Ray? Why does she look so different? But the truth is, nothing happened in the sensational way people expect. Life happened. As the years passed, Rachael faced personal challenges that never made flashy headlines. Health struggles, emotional burnout, the weight of expectations that never eased. She spoke openly about depression, about feeling overwhelmed, about moments when joy didn't come easily. For someone whose entire public identity was built on positivity, admitting vulnerability took courage. Then came the pandemic, a moment that changed everything. Like millions of others, Rachael Ray retreated into her home. Her shows shifted format, her appearances became more intimate, more raw. Without studio lighting, without producers controlling every angle, audiences saw a different version of her, less polished, more tired, more real. And for some viewers, that honesty was uncomfortable. Her physical appearance changed, as it does for everyone with time. Her style evolved, her demeanor softened. She no longer felt like the hyper-energetic host racing against a 30-minute clock. She felt reflective, grounded, human. And that's when the internet reacted. Screenshots circulated, headlines exaggerated, thumbnails leaned into shock. Fans concerned, viewers stunned, unrecognizable. The language was harsh, dramatic, and deeply unfair.
because what people were really reacting to wasn't a downfall, it was aging. It was a woman no longer performing joy on demand. Rachael Ray didn't disappear, she didn't spiral, she didn't collapse under scandal, she simply chose to live differently. She slowed down. She prioritized her mental health. She spoke about grief, about anxiety, about learning to be kinder to herself. She stopped chasing the version of herself that the world expected and leaned into who she actually was. And that choice, the refusal to freeze herself in time, is what shocked people the most. In a culture obsessed with youth, especially for women on TV, aging is treated like failure. Men grow distinguished, women become unrecognizable. Rachael Ray became a mirror, reflecting society's discomfort with change back at itself. And instead of hiding, she stayed visible. She continued cooking, continued creating, continued speaking honestly. Today, Rachael Ray is no longer the fast-talking TV powerhouse she once was, and that's not a tragedy. It's evolution. She is calmer, more introspective, less concerned with pleasing everyone. She still loves food, still believes in comfort, still connects with people, just without the exhausting performance of perfection. The shock people feel when they see her now says more about us than it does about her. We remember the version of Rachael Ray who fit neatly into our memories, bright, bubbly, tireless. But real people don't stay frozen in one chapter forever. They change, they grow, they rest, they survive. And maybe the most powerful thing Rachael Ray has ever done isn't building an empire or redefining daytime cooking television. Maybe it's choosing authenticity in a world that punishes women for it. So yes, take a deep breath before you see her now. Not because something went wrong, but because what you're really seeing is time, truth, and the courage to keep showing up anyway.